Hello YouTube! I just got back from seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and I'm really excited to let you guys know what I thought about it. And as you can see, I saw it in IMAX 3D and I got this really nifty IMAX poster and a Baby Groot cup! I was so excited when I saw this at the concession stand. I was like, can I get my icy in this? And I got my icy in this. I was watching the whole movie like... So you can tell my tongue's blue, it's because I had a blue icy. So how I will do this review is I think that I will do a spoiler-free section in the beginning, and then I will do a spoiler section when I start saying spoilers. So just overall, spoiler-free, I really, really liked the movie. My expectations for the movie were relatively low. As long as it made me laugh, I was going to be happy with it. The first movie was so iconic, especially within the Marvel Universe, it was so different, and I knew that no matter how good this movie was going to be, it wasn't going to be the first movie again. And the best part is that this movie doesn't try to be the first movie again. I think that's what makes it a very successful sequel. I did feel that with this movie, with this Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the humor was a little bit different. The humor was a little bit more adult-based jokes. I don't know if any of you guys remember the Jackson Pollock joke from the first movie, but I feel like a lot of the jokes in this film were a lot more along that vein, and if that isn't your kind of humor, you may not like this movie as much. I definitely wouldn't bring like really little children to this movie because, again, the humor is a little bit more dull. It's nothing like really, really raunchy, but it's definitely PG-13. The movie wasn't as predictable as I thought it was going to be. There were several times in the plot that I thought something was going to go some way and it went a different way, which again was good. Sometimes Marvel movies can get predictable because they're just generic action movies, and there's nothing wrong with a movie being a generic action film, but sometimes you want a little panache, you want something special, you want to be shocked when you watch a movie, and there are definitely several moments when I was watching this film that I wasn't expecting. The new characters this movie introduces were great. They meshed right in with the cast. I really loved Mantis. She was probably one of the best parts of the movie. She was really, really cute. She had lots of really funny moments, and the effects with her makeup were phenomenal. Obviously, they market Baby Groot, and he is undeniably the best part of the movie. And before the movie came out, I was worried that Baby Groot was going to be overused. I was like, oh, I'm going to walk out of the movie hating Groot, and then that will taint the prior movie for me. But no, they used him a comfortable amount. And he's cute. You can't hate Baby Groot. From the trailers, I was concerned that Drax's character was going to be flanderized into just a joke character. And in a way, he's different in this movie. He's very much unserious and very much one of the main sources of comic relief in the whole movie. But he didn't get annoying, just like how I thought Baby Groot might be annoying. Drax did not get annoying, which is good. I don't want to dislike any of these characters, and it always sucks when there's a good comedy show or movie and one character just gets reduced more and more and more to just one aspect of their personality. But that didn't happen to Drax. He had some moments, especially him and Mantis did form some kind of a friendship, which is very sweet to watch unfold on screen. And he's very much a joke character, but it didn't get annoying. Comedy films do tend to take characters that are jokey and make them campy or make them unbelievable or just not fit into the general tone of the movie, but Drax still meshes with the other characters, and overall, the whole Guardians of the Galaxy, you can tell that they still have a very strong bond, and they're friends and they're family, and that gets repeated several times throughout the movie. In contrast to Age of Ultron, where it seems like they took the parts of the first Avengers that people really liked, but then maxed it out to 100 and made it into just a quippy, nauseating movie that at the same time was trying to be serious. I think that because overall this movie is still very lighthearted while still managing to have serious moments, characters like Drax can still fit in, and characters like Baby Groot can still fit in. The movie is definitely a comedy, like in the vein of the first film, but there are a lot of moments in the movie that were surprisingly heartwarming, and the movie does have an unsuspected, gut-wrenching aspect to it. And again, not trying to give spoilers here, but you're gonna laugh, but you might cry. Don't be surprised. A lot of the first reviews when the movie came out was that the movie was funny, but also surprisingly deep and emotional, and there's a lot of themes in the movie about family, about relationships, and about pushing people away, and how you handle getting close to other people. And I think the movie handles those surprisingly well for something that is overall a lighthearted space opera. So, spoiler free, I really love the movie. Now, to get into spoiler territory, if you don't want spoilers, click away. Go back before it's too late. So, spoilers. First of all, I am not a comics expert. I only know what I have read on TV tropes, what I've read on Wikipedia, and what I've read in articles about this movie. But I know that probably the biggest change from the comics in this movie that people will probably be the most either upset about or will be the most controversial within the fandom is Peter's dad. Now, I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this, but in the comics, Peter's dad is a Spartoi alien by the name of Jason, like J''S''O''N. Yeah, J''S''O''N. And in this movie, he is a planet named Ego, like a celestial being named Ego, who is so massive in his age and his power that he is his own planet, portrayed by Kurt Russell, making Peter himself also part celestial, giving him more abilities and stuff. Now, this was foreshadowed at the end of the first movie. Glenn Close's character says that he is only half Terran. Peter Quill is only half Terran, and his other race is something very ancient that they've never seen before. But they changed that. No, they didn't change it, but they had, instead of having him be half Spartoi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, they're having him be part celestial being / god. He ends up being the villain. Kurt Russell as Ego ends up being the villain in this film. And it's played pretty interestingly. I think Kurt Russell and Chris Pratt had very interesting chemistry as, you know, like, as a son who was abandoned by his father, who had to watch his mom die, now suddenly finding out that, hey, his dad's out in space and meeting him unexpectedly. They had good chemistry, and I think Kurt Russell was also believable as a villain. I'm not going to go too into detail about, like, what his villainous plan is, or how he became a villain, or what he does that is villainous, but Kurt Russell's the villain, he's Peter's dad. One of the post-credit sequences is set up for Adam Warlock, and I know that Adam Warlock was a character that many people wanted in this movie, either in the first movie or in this movie, and one of the post-credit scenes definitely indicates that Adam Warlock, if not in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie, will probably be a major player in the Infinity War. In this movie, Adam Warlock, if he goes by Adam Warlock, I don't know if he will be, but in this movie, he is made by Aisha, who is a member of the Sovereign race, which is one of the kind of the main plot lines of the movie. The movie opens up with the Guardians of the Galaxy protecting these batteries made by the Sovereign race, which is like this race of Tolkien-esque looking gold people that are apparently a genetically modified race, and they are all like they have very big egos. And it is implied in the post-credit scene that Adam Warlock is going to be the next evolution of this race of sovereigns, and they are going to probably use him to destroy the Guardians of the Galaxy because they made an enemy of the entire sovereign race. From what I know from the comic books, Aisha is also known as Kismet, and she, in the comic books, is a superhero. Here it appears that she is villainous, or will become more villainous. I don't know if she will end up switching to the good side or not, or maybe I read the Wikipedia article wrong. I don't know. I'm not a comic book expert. I did not know Sylvester Stallone was in this movie, and he's actually playing a character called Starhawk, who is a member of, if I'm reading the Wikipedia article right, he's a member of either the original Guardians of the Galaxy or another version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So he is in a couple scenes in this movie, and he actually has his own end credit scene with his own little team of Ravagers. They have their own little scene in the end credits where they're, I guess, kind of getting the gang back together again, and obviously I knew nothing about them, so that is very much a cookie thrown to the big fans of the comics, which, even as someone who doesn't know the comics very well, those scenes are great, because it's great seeing directors and writers and content creators like movies who are making adaptations of comic books still throw big bones and Easter eggs to their original fan base, the original audiences. And I wish more creators, when adapting either books or comic books, would do that, would listen to their fan base and even try to appeal to them more. And I think that's what makes these movies great. James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and soon to be 3, really has an affinity for the comic books, and he loves the characters, and he even likes like the little itty bitty tiny details that most people wouldn't know unless you're a diehard Marvel fan. And I think that's what makes these movies really good. So I think that we will be seeing more of Sylvester Stallone's character as, I guess, Starhawk in the future? Howard the Duck shows up again in one random scene in the movie, and I do wonder if Marvel's thinking about making another Howard the Duck movie. If they do, I admire their balls. I would go see it. And the credits, because there's like 5 or 6 end credit scenes. At one point you do see a picture of Cosmo the Space Dog, and I wish he would show up. I wish he showed up in this movie, but maybe he will show up in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We don't know. Cosmo the Space Dog was in the first movie in a short little scene in the Collector's Lair. He's a Russian space dog. He's one of the Russian space dogs, and that got lost in space and somehow ended up in the Collector's Lair, and then got free when the one purpley gem exploded. I sound like such a fake fan right now. I swear to God, I know these terms. The movie was really good, and that's all I can think about right now.
Infinity Stone.
Infinity Stone. Yes, it's an Infinity Stone. My friend Katie is off to the screen.
Hashtag fake geek girl.
My friend Katie is off to the side feeding me information and helping me not sound like a jackass. So, even with the changes to Star-Lord's parentage, and even with the additions of little Easter eggs that I may not have immediately gotten, the movie was still hilarious. It was fun. I had a great time. I definitely want to see it again. Maybe now I'm going to read more up about Adam Warlock and Starhawk and all these little characters that I did not know, and read more about them, and then watch the movie again. And now, with my third eye open, I can fully understand the movie and those little Easter eggs and appreciate them even more than I originally did. So, it was a good movie. I loved it. As far as how I liked it compared to the first one, they're about equal right now. I kind of prefer number 2 right now, but I just saw it, and everyone knows that when you first see a movie, you're kind of like riding on a high for a while. So it needs to settle. I need to watch it a couple more times to see if I really do like it more than number 1, because number 1 was a great movie, and I can watch it all the time, and I'm only just now starting to get tired of it. That's because the FX channel plays it all the time, and I always watch it when it's on, and I'm starting to get a little tired of it now. But it'll be interesting to see how the fandom judges 2 versus 1. I don't know. I think they both were good. Let me know in the comments below what you liked and what you thought, and if you like this movie, if you like number 1 first, and what other Marvel movies are you looking forward to. I know in July we have Spider-Man to look forward to, and then in November we have Thor Ragnarok, and then in February we have Black Panther, and then in May we have the first Infinity War movie. We get to see all these movies finally come together as one. It is amazing that Marvel has managed to pull such a vast and detailed expanded universe together. I'm interested to see where it goes. Thanks for watching. I am Groot.